Hello kids, welcome to Acknowledge series by Amit Publication. My name is Achal Sethi and this is the computer series for class 2. This is your textbook, Explain, a trendy way to learn computers. And today we will be taking up chapter number 2, Working on Computer. So let's begin. Now, the computer as we know cannot work on its own. We need to give some instructions to the computer. Now, there are certain steps that a computer follows to complete any task. So, let us learn about some terms that are related to it. Now, input, process, output, cycle. What is this, children? Input, process, output, or the IPO cycle, we call it, is a system that consists of input and output, and there are certain steps that are required to change this input into the output, right? So, these are all the components of the IPO cycle. I stands for input, which is the information, idea, or the resource that is within the computer. P stands for processing, and it gives the actions performed on. P stands for processing, and these are the actions performed to change the input into output. Now, O stands for output, and it is the result that we obtain after the processing. Now, let us understand this with the help of an example. To create a drawing, what all things you need, children? You will need a sheet of drawing paper and also some crayons or the pencil. These are the inputs that you provide to a child to create a drawing. Now, when you create a drawing, that process is called the processing. Now, the finished output, the finished drawing that the child creates is known as the output. So, it is the input, process and output cycle that is happening. Is it clear, children? Now, let us talk about the working of the computer. In the same way, a computer also works in these three steps: input, process and then the output. It is known as the IPO cycle. That is input, process, output cycle. Clear? Now, let us study about input. We need to enter letters, numbers, any other information into the computer to make it work, and these are called the data. Right? The data and instructions that we enter into the computer together are known as the input. Right? Input is usually given by either clicking the mouse or typing in the keyboard. There are some input devices that are used to select information on the, there are some input devices that are used to send information to the computer. Some of these input devices are a keyboard, a mouse or a scanner, right? Now let's talk about process. Process of changing the entered data into meaningful information is called processing. The CPU, that is the brain of the computer, it works on the data we provide to it according to the instruction and it gives the result. CPU is also known as the processing device. This is the CPU and it is present in the CPU box. Right? Now, the final result that we obtain is known as the output. The final result is the meaningful information. Right? When the CPU finishes processing the data, the output is displayed on the monitor screen. Right? Output from the computer can be in the form of some image or printouts from the printer. Talk about some of the output devices. The output devices allow us to receive information from the computer. Some of these are monitor, printer and the speaker, right? Monitor is used to display the output, printer prints the output, and the speakers are used to provide the sound output. Now let us understand the working of the computer with an example. These are the inputs that you provide to the computer. Suppose you want to add 7 and 6. So your inputs would be the digits 7, 6, and what action do you perform? Do you want to perform? You want to add these two digits. So the processing that will happen is will add these two digits and it will give us the answer, that is the output. Now here 7 and 6 are data and plus is the instruction that we are giving to the computer that we need to add these two digits. What the CPU will do is it will process this data according to the instruction that we have given it, that we need to add it, and it will add and give us the final result or the output, that is 13. Correct? Is it okay? Yes. Now let's talk about the computer manners. You should not play near a computer, right? The screen of a monitor is very delicate. It may break when you hit it with a solid object. So you must always be careful never to play near a computer. Let us recall whatever we have done in this class. A computer cannot work on its own. It needs instructions to work. There are certain steps that a computer follows to perform a task. A computer also works in 3 basic steps, that are input, process, and output. Data and instructions entered into the computer together are called input. Input devices used to send information to the computer. Process changing the entered data into meaningful information is called processing. Now, the CPU works on data according to the instructions given to it. It's also known as the processing device. Final result or the meaningful information that we get is called output. Output devices allow us to receive information from the computer. Is it fine? Now let us implement. Take the correct option. First one says a computer works in dash basic steps. So how many basic steps are there? We are 3 basic steps, right? Let's quickly fill the bubble also, or B part, right? Number 2 says dash is an input device. A monitor, speaker, keyboard, or a printer. Correct is the keyboard. Rest all are the output devices, right? Let's fill the bubble with C written on it. Number 3 says dash is an output device. So we have speakers, CPU, printer, keyboard. So we have 2 correct answers here. That is, speakers are also an output device and the printers. Right? Now, fourth one says the dash is the processing device. Which one of these is correct? CPU is the processing device. Right? So we will fill C over here. Right? And for the third one, answer is A and C both. Right, children? Okay. Let's move on. Now, B part says you have to fill in these blanks. First one says a scanner is dash device. So, the scanner is input device. Right? speakers are output device. Right? Output. Number 3, the dash is also known as the processing device. It is the CPU. Right? Now, number 4, when the CPU finishes processing the data, the output is displayed on the, yes, the monitor. Is it clear? Now, let us do true and false. We will write P for the true statements and F for the false ones. Now, number 1 says the final result or meaningful information is called input. So, is it true? No, children. It is called output. So, we will write F. Okay? Now, a computer cannot work on its own. This is true. So, we will write P. The input devices allow us to receive information from the computer. Is it true? No. This is false. Now, number 4, the CPU works on data according to the instructions to get the result. It is very much true. Right? P over here. Right, children? Now, let us find out 3 input and 3 output devices from this grid and write it in their respective columns. Now, let's see. You can find keyboard. Is it an input or an output device? Yes, it is an input device. So, we will write keyboard on the input column. What else you can find here? Monitor. Monitor is an output device. Now, we can find a scanner. Right? The scanner is again an input device. Fine, children? Now, let us find some more. Here we have the printer. It is an output device. Next, let us find some more. Speakers. These are again the output devices. And we have mouse, which is a input device. Is it fine, children? Very good. So, that's all for this chapter. Stay waited for the next one. Bye, children.